Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another Ghost of Yotei video. In Ghost of Yotei, they offer a lot of different customization options along with a lot of different armors and a lot of different charms. Today we are going to be talking about the armor of the Undying. Now this armor set is actually really fun and it looks absolutely beautiful, actually very closely resembling the monkey style armor that we got from the Iki Island expansion of Ghost of Tsushima. That's why I really like it so much, and it's one of my go-to armors right now while I'm still playing Ghost of Yotei. So I figured I would show you guys how to get this armor, what it does, what charms I have, and where to get these charms. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If not, it's all good. We love y'all anyway. Let's get to the video. All right guys, so here we are with this beautiful, gorgeous armor set, the armor of the Undying. Now, I am using the crimson dye that you get from the crimson dye merchant. That is right about here at the Stone Jaw Coast, in case you guys are wondering. But this is what the armor looks like, fully maxed out. As you can see, very closely resembling the monkey style armor from Iki Island and Ghost of Tsushima. So this is the armor right here, the armor of Undying. And these are the charms that I'm actually going to be using. But the cool thing about the armor is the description. Now, the armor of the Undying, if weapon aligned. Now, the weapon aligned basically means if you are using the correct weapon to fight the correct enemy. So if your enemy has a katana and you have a katana, you're aligned. If your enemy has a spear and you have dual katanas, you're aligned, and so on. And you will learn what weapon aligns to what as you go on and unlock the weapons. They will tell you during the actual quests to get the weapons. Now, if weapon is aligned, staggering enemies restores a major amount of health. Now, do remember this is maxed out all the way, so that verbiage will be different depending on the level of armor. If weapon aligned, the window to perform perfect parry and perfect dodge is increased by a moderate amount. And lastly, if the weapon is aligned, focused attacks have a moderate chance to increase stagger damage. But yeah, so that's the armor. Let me basically show you guys where I got this armor. The armor is actually going to be here in EhpicPlays. In order to get this armor, you have to come right here to the Storyteller's Rest in EhpicPlays. Now, once you come up to Storyteller's Rest, you are going to see the actual storyteller sitting here at his camp. And once you speak to him, he's going to tell you a really cool tale of a very stubborn samurai who just won't die. It's very equivalent to the mythical stories that you get in Ghost of Tsushima, where, you know, you get that beautiful artwork and all that good stuff. But after he tells you the story, basically, you are going to have to come over here to this tree, and this tree will have a dead samurai with a bear in front of it. So once you kill the bear, you will notice over here on the branch there is a bell, and once you take that bell, you will be using that bell as a guide. Now, the bell is going to work the same way. You're going to swipe up like you would with any other guide, and the wind will guide you to the next bell. And one little tip, you can use the bell while you're on your horse, because I will say these bells are very far apart. So once you get the first bell, you can use the bells while you're on your horse to find the next bell. Now, once you've collected all 4 bells, you will follow the last bell, which will take you to this tree that you see that I'm looking at in the distance. That tree is going to be here on this particular peninsula. And just down there, you can see the little rock slide area. Just down there is where you will actually go to get this specific armor. Now, the last bell will lead you right here to where I was telling you in this peninsula. Basically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just climb down. You're going to want to slide down here. Make a left into this cave. Follow the parkour route all the way till you get to the dueling arena. Now, once you've crawled under this last little crawl space, you will come to this area right here. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous dueling arena that you will run into the Undying Samurai. Now, I will say, this specific duel is tough. I'm going to just say that right now. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place all 4 bells on these 4 little spots right here. Once you do so, you will actually summon the samurai himself, and he will be wearing this armor. Now, his fighting style is intense. The duel is going to be fun, and I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. He was the first challenge, basically, that I actually had when it came to duels in this game. So I think he was certainly a formidable opponent, to say the very least. Now, after you defeat him in a duel, you will unlock this armor. And then you will end up back up top, where you will run into the storyteller again, and he will basically congratulate you on a job well done and thank you for finishing his story. Then you can set up camp, and at that point you will be visited by Genji, and Genji can help you upgrade your armor, or you can just go to a quest hub and upgrade your armor there like I did. And then you will have this awesome version of the armor of the Undying. Now guys, let's go ahead and talk about the charms that I am using and where to specifically find them. So the charm of Amaterasu, unfortunately, the only way you can get this specific charm right here is actually by having the deluxe edition of the game. And as far as I know, at this moment right now, that's the only way you can get this charm. And I think the reason that this is the case is because Ghost of Tsushima did have this charm, so maybe it was kind of like a blast from the past type of thing that they decided to make it for the deluxe version only, which is kind of unfortunate. Basically what it does is when you defeat enemies, you regain a moderate amount of health. Second charm that I use is the charm of thoughtful restoration. Now this charm, a reflection ripples in the water and the mine. You gain a moderate increase to maximum health. Now this charm is an upgradable charm, and the way you get this charm is after you find your very first hot spring, you will unlock this charm, and the more hot springs you find, the more upgrades you'll get with this specific charm. So having an increase to maximum health is a big plus, and it stacks on top of all the increases that you get from already just finding the hot springs in the first place. The next charm that I have is Father's Charm. Basically, your perfect parries regain a moderate amount of health. The whole thought of this build is to stay alive as long as possible, right? Because I want it to be synergistic with the actual armor itself. So Father's Charm, you actually are going to get in the very first area, and it's going to be at the very top of Mount Yotei. On the western side of the Yotei grasslands, on the left side right here, you are going to see Mount Yotei Shrine. That is going to be what it's called. And once you go here, you'll do a long like parkour route all the way to the top of Mount Yotei. Now once you finish this long route all the way up Mount Yotei, you are going to end up at the top of this beautiful mountain. Absolute incredible experience. You are going to come to the very first shrine that you see when you come up. Once you bow, you will not only get the Father's Charm, but you will also get the Mother's Charm. And these two charms are next to each other. One is for archery and one is for survivability. The archery one I definitely use in my archery build that you see in the video before this if you want to check that out. So basically the Father's Charm is incredible because every perfect parry you gain a moderate amount of health. Now that synergizes perfectly with the armor of Undying because your perfect parry window is actually increased by a moderate amount. So it makes perfect parries that much easier. So every perfect parry you land, you're going to get a little bit of health. Now, just a pro tip, after you go ahead and get this charm, I highly suggest you stay walking around the edge of Mount Yotei all the way around until you get to that side over there. Right here on my screen, you can see over there is a pillar of the fallen. That pillar will have a katana, a very beautiful katana, this specific katana to be exact, the Starlight Abyss. Absolutely gorgeous with the moon and the stars, and honestly, it kind of goes with what you see right now on my screen. This is beautiful. Lastly, before you leave Mount Yotei, I suggest going down to the bottom of the crater and getting this reflection so you can get another technique point. After that, you can go ahead and climb up back to the top over here. Then you can descend back down to the bottom just so you don't miss anything at the top of Mount Yotei. Next, guys, I have the charm of Mount Yotei itself. You would think you get this charm from being on Mount Yotei, but actually no, you don't. So the way to actually get the charm of Mount Yotei, which by the way, reduces all damage taken by a minor amount, and it's upgradable by solving mountain reliquary puzzles. Now, the first one that I came across is going to be this one here in Ishikari Plains, and that's going to be the reliquary of strength. Now, essentially, all I had to do was read the little note here and decipher what it said. Basically, it was telling me to face the masks outward, right, while the fox faces inward toward the actual stone. Now, the little puzzle was actually kind of fun to do and a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, because every time you twisted one of these, the one you were twisting twisted a quarter and the other one next to it twisted 180 degrees. So you kind of had to figure out how to finesse it and get all the red masks facing outwards and the fox facing inwards. As you go through and upgrade the charm of Mount Yotei, it will actually reduce even more amount of damage taken the more of those puzzles that you solve. The last two charms that I have are the charm of furious attacks and the charm of last chance. The charm of furious attacks, the dual katana tempest strikes deal a major amount of additional damage. And then the charm of last chance, your heal technique, then by the way, this has saved me so many times. I highly suggest getting this. Your heal technique triggers automatically when suffering lethal damage. Yeah, this is huge. Okay, and it costs 1/3 of your max spirit. Basically, the way you get these two charms is by going to Taro, the charm vendor. One place I like to find Taro is over here in the Takachi range at Dead Man's Tree. When you come here, he will be just sitting here. If you haven't made it here yet, you will likely be able to find him in a lot of different places. Honestly, he'll randomly pop up after a quest. He'll show up at some of the main quest hubs, and you'll find him alongside the road next to dead bodies because, I mean, that's his business. So when you talk to him, you can actually buy those last two charms that I have in this build. All right, guys, so that is it. That is it for the armor of the Undying. I hope that this video helped you guys find this armor, and maybe you love it as much as I do. And I can't wait to find more armors in this game and share them with you guys. Hope you guys like this video. If you do, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If not, it's all good. We love y'all anyway. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.